This is Coach D Magic with First Down DBs. We're going to go over some Richard Sherman press footwork. Before we get into that, I want to say that First Down DBs is having our very first DB clinic. That will be May 21st and 22nd in San Diego, California. You'll get 8 hours of work over the 2 days. We will go over all the different press techniques you can use, tools to sharpen your off coverage, different tips and tricks to strengthen your DB IQ, all right? Make sure you check out the link in the description to figure out how you can register, and please like and subscribe. All right, DBs, let's analyze Richard Sherman's pure step technique on this rep. So if you haven't seen prior videos, what is the pure step technique? It's one of the most popular press footworks that you'll see out there. So essentially, as soon as the receiver flinches, we're going to step with that outside foot. I would say about a 6-inch step is what I see most taught out there. So we want to just get our feet hot right here and get ready to move. Also, it's really, really difficult to just mirror and react to everything a receiver does. So it's good to have some type of technique that you believe in so that we dictate the release and we're not always just trying to figure out what the receiver's doing. So no matter what he does, whether it's a hesitant release, a speed release, we're going to move this outside foot. After this, we want to keep our eyes here and we want to get ready to kick slide. So kick slide meaning if we're going to the inside, we want to put pressure on the inside of our feet so that we can step this way. And if it goes inside, we want to go at a 0-degree kick step so that we can wash the receiver down to the line of scrimmage. But if they go outside, we want to go with a 45-degree kick step so that we can widen that vertical release, okay? So if you look, the receiver is about, let's say, I want to say 4 or 5 yards from this red line. And because of our 45-degree kick step, the receiver ends up being about 2 yards outside of that red line before he even truly gets vertical, okay? We're still on him the whole time, being physical within that 5 yards. But because of our 45-degree kick step on an outside release, we force him all the way outside before he even truly can get vertical without us having hands on him, okay? So at this point, whether you're watching the hip, whether your eyes are raising up and you're watching somewhere around the midline, whatever works for you. But the key here is that when we do a pure step on movement, we step with that outside foot about 6 inches. On the outside release, we want to kick slide 45. And Sherman does it a little bit differently, maybe because he's kind of leaning backwards. This foot right here is going to end up going behind his outside foot. This actually works for him because as long as you get that foot in that 45-degree angle, the other foot's going to end up matching that, all right? So the other foot's going to end up turning around, and in a sense, we still keep our hip closed right here, but we set ourselves up for success with that outside foot so that when we do open up, we're still making contact with him because we kind of kept that outside foot closed. So that's my thinking behind that. But again, he's still aiming at that 45-degree angle, forces a wide release, and ends up finishing the play. Okay, fellas, here we have Richard Sherman using a 0-degree kick step with his pure step technique. So again, the pure step on receiver movement, we're going to get our feet hot. We're going to jab. We're going to step with that outside foot. Receiver moves. You see how we move with this outside foot. And we don't want it to be too wide because then it's going to make it harder for us to move laterally or kick step. We're just getting our feet warm about 6 inches the step we want, okay? Now, when a receiver goes inside, we want to aim for a 0-degree kick step so we can wash him down to the line of scrimmage, all right? If the receiver goes outside, we want to aim for a 45-degree kick step so we can widen that vertical release. So as the receiver moves, we move that outside foot. As the receiver goes inside, let's see where we aim, okay? So he's going to aim for a 0-degree kick step, but if the receiver's already going vertical, it's going to look like it was a 45-degree, but it's all about that initial step, okay? So boom, receiver goes inside. Let's watch this foot right here. That inside foot steps 0 degrees, Okay, as we're stepping 0 degrees, receiver has to take a wide release to try to avoid us. So our 0 degree kick step ends up looking like 45. I would say this is 0 degrees based on where our first step was and where our back foot ends up being, all right? So it ends up being on that 0 degree line. The more they avoid us, the more we have to kind of open up as we're kick stepping. But again, the more they avoid us to the inside, the better it is for us because we want to force them inside. Notice that the receiver realizes, okay, I'm at the bottom of the numbers. During my release, I'm at the top of the numbers. DB still has hands on me. See how he tries to straighten up here and then go back inside? Because he knows that if he keeps going inside here and then tries to break it off, we're going to wash him down. That ball's not going to be completed. That ball probably is not going to be thrown. All right, so we do a good job of forcing him in and then making him try to straighten up to create more space for the inside route. At that point, we've already won. I would say Sherman gets his eyes on the quarterback because he's anticipating the slant, and I think that's why we get off of the receiver right here. But because we're inside leverage at this point, he does a good job of being patient, trusting his original instinct, and making sure that we body this inside breaking route. So again, step at that outside, 0 degree kick step, ends up looking like 45 because the receiver's release. But we wash him down to the point where he feels like he has to get back outside to create more space for the inside. Play's done.